InShalla and Ashe. Today you get me in the raw. Just finished working out and sorry it took me so long to go live. But today's snippet is actually brought to us by the Holy Spirit, our higher self, our Sira. Super excited. It's going to be a magical day, quite honestly. But let's first talk about the elemental realm of the day. It's a yang fire day, being. That's actually how I created the balance of being. It's a being on the Daymaster day, and right below that there's the tiger on the branch. I don't know if you can see that, but again, being that we are in the season of summer, also the astrological sign of Cancer, we're at the end, the opposing force is actually water. We still got some earth in there, but we have enough of the wood energy actually to feed our fire Daymaster, because we have the yang wood, tiger, and we also have the heavenly realm. We've got some yin wood from the stem. So the fire Daymaster is actually fed and nurtured with those elements. So I would say bring in some water, pray for rain, innovate your grief. Grief rituals are seriously a thing. I'm going to start doing them because our container is grieving, and Americans don't know how to grieve. They really don't. Let the flow go. Take a breath. Take a pause, man. And reflect on the element of water itself and the cycles of the seasons. I would say listen to my Nature Series podcasts. They're all over my site, and they're also on various podcast channels. But the Nature Series, I talk about all of the elements through the seasons and the cycles and give you different insights to elements in general. But today in the season of Cancer, we're actually in Holy Communion, Holy Spirit, where we can, if we're open to it, channel into our intuitive self, being mindful of what we feel. So, you don't think about your feelings, you let them flow into the thought realm. And little signs and coincidences, your soul's harmonic, along with your spiritual insights, are just waiting for us to really call them in. So, kind of ask yourself, what do you feel inside of you about your future reality? And today, the essence of our higher self, what's known in the Dagara as our Sira, is seriously online, just running alongside with our intuition, along with our feelings. So you want to look at those things through literally the eyes of the greater spirit, God, whatever you want to call it, along with your higher self, your Sira, and also your guardians and gatekeepers and guides. It could be an animal totem. You want to really kind of calibrate into that realm. And they are literally the essence that creates little or no resistance on a day like today. But, it's our job to call them in. They're not going to jump in our timeline and our frequency. It's about free will. So you have to create a spiritual connection. And it's usually the easier path or channel that I prefer to subscribe to myself. And honestly, what that looks like is unique to each and every one of us. It's a perspective from the oneness field. Truly, it's the highest vibration of connection. And just saying that out loud, I am connected, creates this conscious stream, these river streams. And you just want to allow these streams to open and get into the flow with your spirit and your soul, creating a merge. They truly need to merge and actually get along, right? No resistance there. But the moon, and I'm kind of excited about the moon today. It's actually on the axis of Libra and Scorpio. It's actually probably in Scorpio now that I'm live, but my natal moon is in Scorpio. So this is going to seriously create a magical, intuitive trine for me, a pure water trine. We have Neptune is in Pisces. The moon ruled by Cancer, even though it's in Scorpio. The sun is in Cancer. Probably plus for me and maybe most of you, we have a soul's harmonic due to Pluto, Scorpio's ruler, being at the same degree in Capricorn at all this magic is going on. So really tuning into our intuition and being mindful of the thoughts that come in and letting them just flow like a river. Pluto in Capricorn, that's like an authority ruler. It's kind of like a judge in the justice system, but in the other dimensions. And when the moon shifts to Scorpio, this is like, Scorpio's like the guardian, the protective kind of feeling. It's kind of a preservative kind of day. It kind of reminds me of canning or making jam or some kind of thing like that. But today is a day to actually stimulate and go online with our intuition, dispel all of the negative energies from our auric field, and really protect what we intuitively sense, just bringing in our own inner confidence and serenity and, good juju, joy, happiness, ultimately just bouncing off of good luck and gratitude from our higher intuitive self. Our crown energy is highlighted today, our spiritual center, right above, our crown. So violet would be an awesome color for today. You can bring in gold and silver as well. Silver is an octave for our shaman's portal, the gateway into the elemental realms. It's a pathway. There's a lot that goes on in there. I talk about that in Change Your Stars more than the energy body demystified. But and also our soul's harmonic, that is the gold energy. So I actually sense that most of our transcendent out-of-body centers are online today and a little more activated. There's a lot of benevolent, juicy stuff. So like crystals or stones, they kind of can pop you into that field as well. Eating blueberries, red grapes, pretty much anything that's purple, dark purple grapes even, blueberries again, stuff like that. And also on a day like today, it would be in our highest good or frequency vibration to actually be in gratitude for all of the assistance and the benevolence of the greater spirit, all of the angelic beings, being more compassionate to ourselves, forgiving the past so you can actually move into a frequency of higher vibration and energies, and really giving all of our challenges and discourse like over to our higher power. I do this in my altar. I just say out loud or in my mind's eye, I release all misaligned energies, all misguided energies, anything that doesn't align with my higher self, my Sira, and just releasing ourselves from any emotional expectations and really treating yourself as if you are an angelic being in the earth realm. Which actually brings me to the angelic beings to call in on a day like today. Again, you can still bring in Gabriel, especially if you feel called to nurture your inner child, your little being that resides within you, and go to your 3-year-old self or 2-year-old self and nurture, give it a binky if it needs it, or popsicle or whatever that looks like. But also we have Archangel Jeremiel, that's the mercy of God. And this angelic being has really a mission to guide souls who have recently crossed the Rainbow Bridge and review their lives to show them their lessons that they've learned on the earth plane. I've had 2 great people in my village recently pass, so I thought that this was pretty interesting that this is the angel that came through today. But this angel also can assist us when we're still in the earth realm to really kind of review our earth journey so far in the present, in order to actually assist us in creating a better future in our life path. So this is an angel that you really want to call to connect with or call in if you're dealing with any fears of death, which again, it's pretty interesting to me because the universe truly is so magical and galactic. Holding the Jedi Force or being a Jedi, it's kind of what it feels like today, that holy communion, that holy spirit kind of aspect. And another angel to call in is Sandalphon. Sandalphon is brother. Sandalphon is the deliverer that takes our messages and our prayers literally out to source energy, God universe. I see it like a scribe, a musical scribe, like angelic harps. And what's cool about Sandalphon is when you invoke this angel, this angelic being, just kind of pay attention to words or music. It could even be a song that's on repeat in your head. and you can't get the message out of your mind, that's Sandalphon. That's how he gets into our frequency and sends the message. And last but not least, my favorite part of the snippet card of the day, super excited about this, and you're going to love it. This is, I went back to my fairy oracle deck. This is Faf the footer. I don't know if you can see that in the bottom of the card. This card was reversed. However, going forward, like if it wasn't reversed, this card is all about being real, being grounded, earthing, centering, being in your skin. And what's curious for me is like with all the grief going on, when you over grieve so much, it's almost like you really have another foot in another dimension, like you can pop out of the earth plane quite quickly. I see a lot of people that happens for. I think I probably could have done that this last few weeks, but I'm still here. So this card, when we work with, we're actually creating a combination of insight and joys, not just with this card, but actually when we work in the realm of the fairies, the candomblé and the dagara. They're a form of fairy or little people like leprechauns and fairies as well, but they're harmonious, they're happy, they're in the joy field, they're optimistic, they're not in the treachery of life. They bring our light, they see our light, they see our joy, you know, and they want us to stay in that frequency. But also what's curious about this card is it's all about earthing. So kind of a quick idea or tip for earthing is you can literally stroke your feet on the ground of the earth. You know, you kind of want to do it for 5 minutes. You can do it with your hands, planting flowers. You can also, you know, if you have holes in your sock while doing it. I just thought of my friend. He always had holes in the bottom of his heels, but stuff like that. And also a fun thing to do for today is go get a pedicure and paint your toenails cherry bright red. Because every time you look down, you're going to see that cheery bright cherry red when you see your toes. So this is just kind of going to remind us to keep ourselves in the ground. But this card was reversed. So today is actually a day where we are kind of crying out for help. It might be just of my situation, quite honestly, but I always seem to have a balance between the other realm and this realm, multi-traveling in between. It's kind of interesting to ground when you kind of function that way, but that's just something I've always done. So it kind of feels like you're getting sent off into a balloon and you need somebody to pull you back down into the earth plane. So this is kind of an urgent message. You know, it might be difficult, sometimes impossible to even connect with the earth plane because you're always going to feel like you're a floating personal soap bubble bubbling up into the etheric realm. But this is actually a matter of coming back into the earth field and popping that soap bubble, those joy bubbles. So it's a matter of just floating back down into the earth plane. Otherwise, what happens if you just get popped into the earth plane, it's a hard, grounded feeling kind of way, and you kind of tumble a little bit. And it might feel kind of dark or dangerous, like a plane crash landing, re-landing in a kind of way. So, you know, ultimately the better thing to do is to bring ourselves gently back into the earth realm and kind of cuddle in with Mother Earth. So I would definitely work on grounding into the earth quite a bit today and, you know, get in the flow of Mother Nature, into the waters, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So it's a matter of releasing, forgiving, letting go, getting into the flow. It's kind of all these things happening while still connecting to the other dimensions and the realms through calling in our guardians and imagining yourself as your own personal angelic being. So with that, InShalla, Ashe, thanks for loving me on a raw snippet day. This is right after a workout, so I'm pretty cute. Anyways, enjoy your day, InShalla, and I'll see you soon.